The number one reason that people never move ahead with becoming a Primalista, even if they are so determined to make that change and they've gone through this journey, they've had the Primalista call, is that they just don't have their support of their peers or their hubby or their partner or those that they love. And having the support of your friends and loved ones on this journey, I reckon, is one of the most important factors in your success, because starting a business is much easier if you've got the buy-in and support from those around you, especially if your husband and yourself make financial decisions together, because obviously it's a financial investment. So that's why I have put together my three top strategies to get hubby on board, and how I've even put together a proposal specifically for your darling husband. So before you have the conversation with your hubby, you might have already talked to him about Primal Alternative. Maybe you've showed him something on the website and he knows you're having a call or you're doing the virtual open week. But when you actually want to go ahead and do it, it's a whole different ball game. Okay. So you need to make time to have this conversation. So usually when you are made an offer of a Primalista license, there will be a time frame in which you have to get back with your decision, right? Because we need to know who we've got offers out with, because we're interviewing people all the time. So we need to make sure that the stockist viability is accurate. But also humans need, it's human nature to need a cutoff or a deadline. And because we don't have intakes and we don't do, we're closing the doors on the intake, but none of that kind of fake urgency. We need to know when you're going to give us a decision. And also going backwards and forwards costs us time, energy, and money. And we are really looking for Primalistas who are decisive and take action, because that's what we need, right? So there's going to be a time frame in between that you've got a deadline you need to work towards. So you need to have this 20-minute conversation. You need to keep it 100% distraction free. Okay. So make sure that he's not watching the golf and he's scrolling on his phone. Make sure that you're both low stress and not tired, and that you've had a meal. You don't want to be getting hangry or tummy rumbling and having issues with low blood sugar level, God forbid. And also when you're not too tired, he's not just come back from work or you're tired, you've had a hellish day. And the key here is to start with why it's important to you. I'm going to go into these in details in a little bit more, that the 3-stage strategy, but we're starting with why it's important to you. So remember the 3-step strategy and focus either on your breath or your heart. Now, it might sound a little bit woo-woo, but it can be quite emotional to share your why and the things that you learned on Monday in the virtual open week, or that you've discussed on a Primalista call. And so you might find your voice wobbles because you're speaking your truth. So focus on your heart beating, or catch your breath, listen to your breath, because it will bring you back into your strength. Never say you or your. These 2 words are banned from the entire conversation, no exceptions. You're also not allowed to ask them what they think. And that's it, no more. Although it's just a 20-minute chat, this will be your toughest challenge yet. I'm not kidding. Getting hubby on board will be harder than getting your counsel on board. So here is my 3-step strategy to get hubby on board. So start with why this is important to you. So I want you to frame this entire discussion with why this change is important to you. Reach deep down, find vulnerable, open, honest reasons why you're excited and passionate about becoming a Primalista. Keep the conversation about what it will mean to you to be your own boss, what it will let you do, have, be, and experience. So remember the questions that you asked yourself on Monday, or that you were asked in the Primalista call. Now it's time to share that with your loved one. And like I said, it can be really scary to share the stuff that's real. So focus on your heart, come back to your breath. And if you catch yourself wondering, oh, I wonder what they're thinking or what you're saying, just go back to your heart and then stop. This is hard. The next bit's hard. Shut up and listen. After you state why it's important to you, ask them what's important to them about you starting your own business. Don't ask them what they think about what you just said, because that's literally a recipe for disaster. You're just triggering them to take the opposite side and defend. Just ask them what's important to them about you starting a business. So we stop talking, we shut up and we listen. And when they're done, you end the conversation there. Resist the temptation to get into planning mode on how this can be done, right? I know it's going to be tough and it's almost impossible for me to do, but when I'm conscious of this strategy, it helps immensely and it makes a huge difference to the outcome of the conversation. There's nothing wrong with a short discussion of what's important and then having some time away to let it percolate. Now, I know with my husband, Mike, every time I propose anything new, whether it's something very small or very big, the initial answer is no. And he normally comes around to my way of thinking. And most of the primalistas that we speak to, potential primalistas that we speak to on calls, say the same thing. Like, it's not the 1950s. We're not asking for permission, but we're in a partnership and we make decisions together, which is cool, right? And most potential primalistas will say that their husband is very supportive of what they want to do, and they normally have no dramas being able to move ahead with what they want to do. But here's some really cool strategies to help you get ahead and do that, right? So the next one is to leverage outside influences. So what does that mean? Well, that just means let them hear it from somewhere else that's not just from you. So there's 3 ideas that I have for you here. So one is you could bake the grain-free bread recipe that's on the blog. So just Google Primal Alternative Grain-Free Herb Bread and you'll get a recipe to try. You've probably already got the ingredients in your pantry. Cook it while they're in the home, the beautiful smell coming from the oven. Let them have it nice and hot out the oven with some butter on, or place an order and let them try some products. I mean, it's an old saying, right? The easiest way to a man's heart is through his tummy, right? But it works. Chocolate chip cookies and the pizza bases are a really great place to start with the Primal Alternative products of getting Hubby on board. Another thing you could do is watch a short info session together or watch the call prep video together. They're about 30 minutes long. I know for a fact that my husband would not sit down and watch a 30-minute video about this, right? So don't feel upset if they don't want to sit there and watch that, which is why I put together this proposal and I want to share this with you now. So this is a proposal that I've put together to kind of just capture the essence of the Primalista license offer that you will have been made if you have a Primalista call and it's a good fit. So it basically gives you a recap of what you're going to get with some quotes from existing Primalistas, some testimonials from industry leaders like Joe Witten from Quirky Cooking. It tells them a little bit of some of the stats, proven, tried and tested model, simple to follow system that's been replicated over the last 5 years by over 270 primalistas in 4 different countries. Shows a few pictures. It's good to put faces there and shows where we are in the world. Some more industry leader testimonials. So maybe your partner's heard of Jordan Pye or Cindy O'Meara, Mark Sisson from the Primal Blueprint, Alex Stewart from Low Tox Life, and just some stats in terms of our not so niche alternative and why it's a good idea to invest in a license. It shows them some pictures of the products that we make without them having to watch a video or go on the website. We've got testimonials from real life primalistas. and an idea of the sales and marketing tools that you will get, and a list of what you get with the Primalista license. So everything is listed there for you to recap as well, but also just to kind of give a really good snapshot of what you get. There's some of the labels, the food standards, the barcodes, nutrition panels, all of that, and the brochures. And a look at the online shop and the sales training. You get quite a lot. It's pretty good, isn't it? How much can you earn as a Primalista? So these figures are accurate as of September 2022. This is kind of what I find is this is what hubbies really want to know. They want to kind of know, well, how many pizzas do you have to make to earn X amount? So this gives them that information, and also a bit of a visual in terms of how much you have to bake to earn that much or earn that much. And then some more number crunching in terms of the pie charts and the cost of goods versus the retail and wholesale profit, how much it's going to cost, the bonuses that you get. The Primalista Mentor Program bonus is not in here, but that is valued at approximately $4,000. The cooling off guarantee. What happens when you hang up your apron? There's some videos that they can click through if they want to meet the Primalistas or see how easy the recipes are or what it's like to get started. They can click through and watch some of those videos. Here's some of the places that we sell our products to, so they can think, oh, okay, I know you're in IGA, Go Vita. These are some of the brands they will probably, at the shops they've probably heard of. And this is just to clarify what you need to do next. It's really easy to get started, just 2 bits of paperwork, and what happens after you have signed up. There we go. So how cool and groovy is that? I think that's really going to help your rallying the troops, getting hubby on board. What do you reckon? One thing that I find quite funny is that primalistas tell me that their partners do a Google search of primal alternative scam. And they just think, oh, this sounds dodgy and you're going to get ripped off by somebody. Somebody even said to me on Facebook once that I was a company that was pretending to be Australian. It's just there's all sorts. There's so much fear mongering, and there are rip-off merchants out there. But hopefully, you realize that I'm just a woman, a mum, an honest, hardworking mum who came up with a great idea and wants to share it, and that it's helping other women and it's helping our communities be healthy. And that you're not going to be ripped off, right? But if they do think it's a scam, just say, oh, that's really common, that's quite normal. The things that I find about our beautiful alpha males, like they're there to protect us, they're there to keep us safe, right? And in the past, most of us have fallen into an absolute hole. We fell into a complete heap, and they don't like it. They don't like it when we're not well, because they love us and they don't want to see us burnt out or stressed out. And the other thing is as well, my mum taught me this when I first got married, that husbands really like our time and attention on them. This might all sound really sexist, but I bet you're nodding your head, right? Because everybody I say this to, I mean, I've done over 850 Primalista calls. The key thing is that we need to show them that we are not going to take our time and attention away from them, and that they are still really important to us. We're still going to have time for them and our family, and we need to be able to show them how we can structure this and schedule it into our already probably quite full week. So you'll need to, but when are you going to bloody fit in a business? So I've already thought about that and how it's going to add to the family. So look, good luck. Good luck with your sales pitch to your darling husband, and feel free as well. Like, don't just, if they say no, don't feel that's it, and you just need to get back to us and say, oh, sorry, it's not the right time, because we hear that the most. It's such a shame. Like, it doesn't have to end there. And we are more than happy to book another follow-up call with you and bring your husband. He can just sit there in the background on speaker if he doesn't want to get in on the call, or we can meet on Zoom. But we'll do anything that we can, to support you and help you be able to say yes to this amazing opportunity.